Good afternoon, my Josie Outlaws here. Hope everybody's doing well. Oh man, I'm just having a good day. Friday. Hope everybody have a great weekend. Are you gonna be watching the All-Star game? I might try to catch a little bit, but I don't like the All-Star game anymore. I don't like it. I mean, maybe I'm a dinosaur when it comes to that, but it used to be fun. The slam dunk contest, they would have the stars in it. Who's in the slam dunk contest, actually? I don't even know. Let me see who's participating in the All-Star weekend. Man, it's got really corny, and I'm not excited about it. Back in the day, you had the top 3-point shooters, but they were actually stars. Like if I want to watch the 3-point contest, I want to see Steph Curry. I want to see Damian Lillard. Let's see who's the actual best 3-point shooter, not who had a good season this year. Nah, I want to see the stars, man. I want to see the stars. And yeah, I'm trying to see who's in the. Okay, so they have the Taco Bell Skills Challenge. Skills Challenge kind of weak, man. It kind of remind me of like the football drills. I don't want to see all that, man. I think that's corny. I want to see who's the best shooter, who's the best slam dunk, and I want to see the sophomore versus the freshman game. I want to see Lamelo Ball get down. I want to see him get down. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I don't want to see. Okay, so 3-point contest. You have CJ McCollum. I would like to see him. Trey Young. Got to see him. Future star. Casey. Casey Anthony Towns is in the 3-point contest, man. See, this is what I'm saying. This is why I can't watch it. Zach Levine. Okay. I want to see stars. I know they want to rest and do this load management crap, but I want to see superstars. If you're here for the first time, definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Um, Help a brother out. But I would like to see that. They got Luke Kennard, who, Patty Mills. Can we see Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, uh, James Harden in there? Let's get some top 3-point shooters in here. Or better yet, get Steph and his brother in there. So I'm not really excited about the 3-point contest this week. Not at all. Slam dunk contest, Cole Anthony, Juan Toscano Anderson. I might be butchering their name. I don't know none of these. I'm not watching this. I'm not going to spend my Saturday watching non-stars. I don't care what car they jump over. I think the best uh, All-Star game was 2001. They were playing like there was no free balls when they were shooting, man. None at all. They was just shooting. They was blocking each other's shot. Wow, man. As a matter of fact, I might watch that today. It had a Charles Sprewell. I'm gonna see if let me pull this up here, man, because I want to get this right. Let me see. I know somebody probably did a blog on it or something. Here we go. All right, so someone did a blog on it, so I'm gonna see if they have it on here. 2001 biggest comeback ever. Mm, yeah, that was loaded. I'm gonna look for that one. Remember that one All Star game where LeBron James didn't take the last shot and Kobe got on him and Carmelo Anthony? I think that was 2006. Yeah, I think I found it. Yeah, man, this game was nice, man. Nice, nice. Let me see. February of 2001. This game was amazing. They were playing defense. So the starting lineups for the East was Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Grant Hill, and Alonzo Mourning. Let me pull it up on the screen here. Let me pull it up on the screen. Let's see. Mm, okay. Hopefully you can see that right there. This was the best game, not because of the star power, but they were playing defense on each other, man. Allen Iverson was going after Jason Kidd, and Tracy McGrady was and Kobe Bryant, Vince Carter was going at Tim Duncan, and Shaq was playing, and it was just so cool to see. Ray Allen was there. Everybody was playing defense. I don't think they scored in the first couple minutes because the defense was just on par. Latrell Sprewell was doing very well, and they really wanted to win this game. It was like pride, man. Great game. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, this was a great game. It ain't gonna be like that anymore. Nah, it's not like that. So I'm not gonna. I might not check it out. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I don't know. If I don't have something to do, I probably won't watch the game. But either way, I'm doing this live, man, because I'm doing a series on these players, man. And this series right here, this show is called Surviving Kevin Durant. Now, Kevin Durant, see, I have to talk about him. I didn't want to talk about him, but I have to because I have to keep that same energy that I was doing when I was going after LeBron James. And I'm going to do surviving LeBron James too. Absolutely. I have to give it back to him because after all, he deserves it. Kevin Durant been around since 2007. One of the best players in the game. 6'10". There's a rumor saying that he's they try to say he was 6'9" at one point because there was a point where the coach was saying if he's under the 6'10", if he's under 6'10", then he can play on the wing. Other than that, he's going to have to get down low. So I think he lied about his height. But he's about 6'10". A lot of the NBA players lie about their height, so, for matchup reasons. But I have to get on Kevin Durant for his cowardness, his his lack of leadership. He's not a leader. But I have to get on him because I got on LeBron. See, LeBron started this, and I'm not going to talk about him all day because I got my last show was about him. But Kevin Durant is one weak dude, mentally, mentally weak. Raised up, father left early on. He was still in his life though, but he was raised with his mom. Weak, skinny kid, probably got bullied, and one thing he probably did was just I'm gonna play basketball. This is my vice. All I want to do is ball. You ever meet those guys? All they do is ball. All they do is have a basketball in their hand. He grew up in DC area where it was tough. They probably protected him a little bit because he was good, and he was in the AAU circuits. So he knows all these players. All these players that playing his age, he's about 30. He's about to be 34 this year. They all know each other. It's WWE when it comes to us because we don't know that they know each other. It's so interesting about celebrity. When we watch the Grammys, for instance, they'll say best new artist. These guys know this guy. He's not a new artist, he or she. They've been doing it for 10 years, 10, 15 years. They just actually made it to the mainstream, but they call that best new artist. Because I always wonder, like, how is they new in the game, but they could perform the way as well as they could? They paid their dues. Kevin Durant is a whack leader. He's a whack leader. He can't lead anything. And that's his problem. That's his biggest problem because he is by far one of the most athletic, or not athletic, but skilled basketball players. You never saw this guy before. A 6'10" shooter, 7 foot pretty much, can shoot like a guard, can dribble the ball like a guard. You can't do that with him because basketball is about height. It's about height. If you don't believe me, think about those people who just miraculously had a growth spurt. You had Anthony Davis is one of them. He was the reason why he could dribble the ball so well because he was a point guard, and then all of a sudden he shot up to 7 feet or 6'10", whatever how tall he is. Anything past 6'6" is the same to me. Me being 6 foot. So you have Charles Barkley was another one when he was this little. He was 5'10" point guard, and then all of a sudden he shot up to be 6'4", 6'5", and he still has the skills of a point guard. Kevin Durant, no one can watch this guy. Kobe Bryant said that he's like the only player that he could not figure out before he retired. He said at one point, he couldn't go left. And if he could push him left, shut down his right hand, he would shoot. He would pull up and shoot and probably miss. But once he realized he could go left and had the confidence of finishing with the left, he couldn't stop him. He couldn't read him. He didn't know what he was doing. He was trying to count his dribbles before he pulled up, and nothing worked. That's how good he is. And he wants to be LeBron James, but you cannot be LeBron James. LeBron James is a leader. He's been a leader of men since he was playing those AAU circuits. He was the leader of men since they were playing AAU. Then he went to the pros. He went to the pros, beating, running he was the youngest guy on the team, and he was beating grown men like they stole something. And shout out to LeBron James because I think something about to happen this summer. I think he's going to do something to kind of diminish Michael Jordan's legacy because LeBron he can't get up to the level that the world put him on. He can't do that. He can't win six in a row and lose. He can't win seven and lose, right? He has to work on other things, but the way society is, we're based off of we put success on championships. How many times you can lead a team to win a championship? Russell did it in the '60s. He got 10. Then you look at the '80s, the Lakers. The Lakers went to like 8 or 9 championship or finals, and they lost. I think they lost 4. I think they went to 10 and lost 4, something like that. But they won 5. Then you had the Bulls. You have to remember, all of us talking about this, we're pretty much Generation X or, um, the other generation prior to Generation X, the baby boomers. And We all saw Michael Jordan in the 90s dominate the NBA. No one ever done what he did. 10 straight scoring titles. He played every single game when he came back from playing baseball. Won 3 straight championships. I think 3 scoring titles, 2 Finals MVPs, 2 MVPs. Like there's nothing like he dominated the era. We can't say LeBron did that. We can't say LeBron dominated his era because in the 2000s he was not the best player. It was Kobe Bryant. It was Shaquille O'Neal. When he became the best in the league, that's when he formed the super teams. When he became the best in the league. Now, here's the thing though. Kevin Durant is not a leader. He's not. That is the problem. Now, we can look in history of great players in the NBA, great talent that could not lead. Shaquille O'Neal could not lead a team. He was with Orlando, could not lead that team to a championship. He had so much jealousy, it was ridiculous because he's a bully. That's all he has. He got to show his dominance with his weight and his height. And then he got to be the funniest in the room where he's going to punch you in the head. He's not a good leader. Nobody really wanted to be around Shaquille O'Neal. And he didn't lead by exercising, working hard. He didn't want to do none of that. He just wanted to play and go party. He didn't go to LA to win championships. He went there because he wanted to be in the rap scene. He wanted to get his acting career off. Because if that was the case, he could have stayed in Orlando. They were there. They went to the finals in 94 or 90 no 95, I believe, and got swept. And I always say this up to people. You have to wait your turn. I'm you have to wait your turn. You cannot skip the line. Shaquille O'Neal was a young team. Yes, Shaquille. Yeah, Penny Hardaway. You had Dennis Scott. You had um, Derek Anderson, and that team was up and coming. And you left that team. Great leader of you quitting on your team. Then you go to LA, and they was going to break that team up if it wasn't for that comeback, which was a fantastic comeback. If they'd have lost to Portland in 2000, game over. You wouldn't have saw LA blow up like that. I think Kobe would have just been drifting. They needed to win that. But Shaquille is a bad leader. He couldn't even convince the Bus family to keep him in 2004. Then Shaquille O'Neal goes to LA. I mean, Miami. He goes to Miami and playing with up and coming player Dwayne Wade. He's playing with Dwayne Wade. They couldn't even stay there. I'm telling you, Shaquille is not a good leader. They could have won a few championships if he would have worked out and kept his weight down. But think about it. He's in LA, then he's in Miami, he's all partying. He's not a good leader. Shaquille O'Neal's not a good leader. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is not a good leader. I said it. Kareem reminds me of Kevin Durant. They are the same. Let's look at Kevin Durant's career. Excuse me, not Kevin Durant, but let's look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's career. He was a quiet guy, a lot of anger, and I understand. I understand why he's angry. He hated white people. He hated them, but I get it. I get it. You grew up as a teenager in New York in the '60s. Your first coach, or you're not your first coach, but your coach in high school called you a nigger on the court. He hated him for the rest of his career there. And then he was around the Muslims, the Nation of Islam, because that was a perfect opening. He said, "Look, white people want to hurt you. Join us." That's basically what happened when he was Luau Center. Then he goes to L.A., UCLA, become a Muslim out there. He don't like white people who don't like the media, so he never talked to the media. Sounds familiar? Kevin Durant doing the same thing. Don't talk to the media. If this was now, I mean, if Luau Cinder was playing now, he probably have a burner account trying to talk these people. But one thing I would say, he did not like the media. Then he was playing for Milwaukee, and he had a mosque in Milwaukee. One day he's away. They came in there, and the Muslims, bang, 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 killed a couple kids in there, killed a couple parents in there at the mosque. So you can imagine what his mind is going through. So I'm like I said, I'm sympathetic to him when it comes to that. He's playing in Milwaukee, which is the Christian town, and right now he thinks Christianity was the white man's religion. He didn't like it there. It was so white in Milwaukee. He wanted out. So he basically said he wanted to be traded. He gets traded to LA. Now he's in the NBA dominating. He just got a ring in Milwaukee. He's in LA dominating, but they could not win. Why? Because his leadership skills. He don't talk to anybody. He just play basketball. I just want to play basketball. Do it sound familiar? Kevin Durant. Sounds just like Kevin Durant, huh? I just want to play basketball. Will Chamberlain was another one. He was not a great leader. He could score 50 points a game. He could jump out the gym, get 20 rebounds. Then to he could go to play volleyball. He was a superior athlete when it came down to it. Superior. Arguably one of the best athletes in the world. I remember one time they asked him about him and Kareem, who's the better player. He said, "I'm the better player." He said, "Kareem, if I wanted to get the scoring title, I would have. I didn't care about that. After I scoring 50, I wanted to try to do something else in my game." And I believe him. He could have had that scoring so high that no one would have get it because no one could stop that guy back then. He was the Shaquille O'Neal of the 60s and the 70s. Put respect on Will's name. He is a liar, though. Said he slept with all the women, but I digress. I know he probably slept with a lot of them, but it wasn't what he said. He said like 30, 40,000 or something crazy. Mm, I don't know about that, bro. But he was amazing, man. Amazing basketball player. So the leadership. So you got to ask yourself, what is leadership? What is the qualifications? What is the qualities of a leader? So basically, a leader is a person who leads and commands a group, organization, or country. Did Kevin Durant do that when he was in OKC? Did he command a group? No. He don't talk to people. All he would say is, "I just want to play basketball." He was a coward when he left that team. He was a coward. Let me say it again. A coward. You had a team. First off, you should have talked Harden didn't understand that at the first time when Harden was there. Harden was already there playing with you, James Harden. You had James Harden and you had a young Westbrook, and y'all was nice. Y'all were good. And you couldn't do it. You were this close to winning a championship. Now, you have to blame LeBron at one token because LeBron started that super team, and that's what made you want to leave. I know that. That's what made you want to leave. Now, the most important qualities of a good leader includes integrity, accountability, excuse me, empathy, humility, resilience, all types of good qualities. Vision, influence, and positivity. He didn't have these qualities, not at all. Now, there's a difference between management and leadership. Now, management is about persuading people to do things um, that you don't want to do. That's management. A leader is inspiring people to do the things that they should do. Now, think about this. When the last time did he inspire anyone to do anything that's on a basketball court? I'll show you what inspiring someone is. Phil Jackson played with Michael. I mean, he was coaching Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan said he didn't want to pass to these clowns. He said he didn't want to play team ball. He wanted to score, 34 points, 30 to 40 points, and win the championship in the scoring department. That's what he wanted to do. Well, Phil Jackson inspired him to pass the ball and play with the system of the triangle. In the triangle, you don't hold the ball. You pass the ball to the open man, and everybody's moving. It's really hard to defend because there's a counter for everything. And he convinced Michael Jordan to play that system. And the first year they did not win, I believe. The second year they win the championship and they won three because that's what you call inspiration. Inspiring someone as a leader to do something they don't want to do. So, perfect example, OKC. You should have inspired Westbrook not to shoot those stupid shots. That is your job to get him to buy into what you're saying. LeBron James is a great leader because him, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade was stars. And one thing about it is so hard to get stars to do what you want them to do because they already became successful before they got to you. It's hard to do that. It's hard to in relationships. In relationships, it's hard to get someone to stop doing what they're doing if they collaborate with you because they're like, I got here this way and I don't want to compromise what I'm doing because what you do might not work. LeBron is a better leader. Kobe Bryant is a better leader. If Kevin Durant does not win in Brooklyn, he's just going to be another guy who's talented that couldn't lead a team to championship. He didn't lead the team to a championship in Golden State. He went to a championship team with Steph Curry. Steph Curry and shout out to that team was Draymond Green and Clay Thompson. And then these guys been together for 10 years. This is how you build a team. You build a team from organically. Now, every NBA team or NFL team or college team, they're not interested in winning. Some people are just not. Some people just want to make money because we know as fans, you're going to support them anyway. When you support them anyway, you support the foolishness. Just let you know that as a team. So without a doubt, Kevin Durant is the most hated player. People will say LeBron, but Kevin Durant he's up there with him with his getting burners accounts, scared to face up and man up and say he don't like what somebody's saying. He had to get a burner account. Can't believe he got caught doing that. It should have never got this way with Kevin Durant because people loved him in college. People loved him when he was at OKC. Just a gifted player. He also ran. Now let's look at this right here. This graphic. Um, one moment there. So if you look at this right here, OKC they finally made the playoffs. He got there in like 2007, I believe. They finally made the playoffs in 2010. He was getting 25 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. This is the playoff series. Played against the Lakers. They end up losing. Again, what did Michael Jordan say? For you to be a winner, you must lose first. So he's going through his dues. Lost first round. 2011, they're rolling. They beat Denver, which had Carmelo Anthony, beat him down 4 games to 1. Then they go to beat Memphis, 7 game series, tough series. He averaged 26 points, 9 rebounds. He wanted this bad. Then they play Dallas and they lose. This is 2011. And Dallas and ultimately went to the league. I went to the finals and won and beat against LeBron James, one of LeBron James choke modes. Choked in that finals. Let's go. Let's go to this right here. Let's see if I can pull that up. And they lost to us. The crazy thing is Dallas was the 7th seed in the series. Well, I ain't gonna pull it up, but I don't have it set up. But anyway, so I go back. Where are you? Okay, here we go. 2012. They went to the championship. Great year. 2012. They go all the way to the finals and lose to Miami. The next year, 2003, they go to the Western Conference Finals again. Check this out. Because I kind of forgot about this right here. Okay, so they lost to Houston. Is this the time they were up? Let me see. Okay, no, they actually beat Houston. 6 games. 6 games. All right, so let me go back. Slipped my memory these games so long ago. All right, so this is the playoff game. All right, so 2012. We get to the finals. 2013, they lost to Memphis 1-4. And then 2000, Memphis was pretty good around that time now I can remember. They played them again in 2014. And this is when they choked, I believe. They lost the San Antonio. San Antonio ended up winning the championship. That was a tough series. They didn't make the playoffs in 2015. And okay, 2016. This is when people start hating them. This is what I was trying to find. They get to the Western Conference Championship right here. So they win the first game. Westbrook scored 27 points. They win. They go to the second game. They lose. Good series. They win the third, so they're up 2-1, 3-1. Okay, here we are. Right here. This is the defining moment for him. They were up 3-1. Westbrook is balling out of control, 36 points. All they needed to do was win 1 freaking game. Now, game 5, it wasn't his fault. He scored 40 points. They just did not win that game because Golden State was just on fire. They were down though, but they were on fire. Kevin Durant scored 40. Russell scored 31. They just couldn't pull it off. They couldn't slow down the other team, which Steph had 31. Clay had 27, but they played as a team. Good play off the bench. They lost that one. They lose again, game 6, and then they lose game 7. But this is the kicker. This is the part of leadership. You abandon Russell Westbrook to join Golden State, the team that beat you. You should have some pride. And this is when people like, wow, you're a sellout. So you go to the best team to get a ring. So he was there for 4 years. Let me see. No, not 4 years. Let me go back up here. So let me go back. Okay, so he was there for 3 years. Won 2 championships there. I believe they lost the last year, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull that up because I don't kind of don't remember. I don't really follow this team. What happened that year? Okay, yeah, they lost to Toronto. I think he got hurt or something. I can't remember. But so Kevin Durant, how is it that you could not play? You're not getting along with your players. Like obviously you don't get along with Westbrook because of how you left him for dead. Then you can't get along with Draymond Green, which is I heard Draymond Green is one of the nicest guys in the league. You couldn't get along with Steph Curry. Steph Curry is a really cool guy. What I hear, couldn't get along with them. You couldn't get along with James Harden, that superstar. You couldn't get along with him, and you're probably going to end up falling out with Kyrie Irving. You created another super team that failed. So you go to what you call a super team and Golden State to win a championship to get people off your back, and you don't care how you feel about that. Then you go to Brooklyn and you create another one. You get Kyrie Irving and you talked the management to trading for Harden. This is interesting. People just don't like you. You like I said, you did a burner account to get on fans. I don't know, but I will say this: I am rooting for the team this year. I want them to win because I kind of like Ben Simmons. I think he's a good player. I think he's a top scorer. His percentage in the last 5 years, field goal percentage is like 60 something percent. He's a scorer. He can't shoot. He can pass. He can play defense. I think it's gonna be a good fit. But we got two mentally weak people on the team. I don't know how that's going to gel. Ben Simmons is weak. Kevin Durant is weak. So anyway, he left his team high and dry. That's what he does. He's not a good leader. He should have talked James Harden into staying. Every time he talked to the media asked about now he could be lying, but every time he is asked about any of his players, he said I haven't talked to them. And I kind of believe it because they said rumor has it that he wasn't talking to or excuse me, Kevin Durant was not talking to James Harden for a while. How are you on a team playing with somebody, but you're not having a conversation? Let me see if I can pull that article up. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Mm-mm-mm. And Kevin Durant, he did approve this trade because he didn't like him. Now we know I'm gonna do a whole video about James Harden. James Harden's all about self. He's all about self. Yeah. So basically, during this article to CBS, James Harden admitted Tuesday that when he was essentially forced his way out of Houston of the start of last season, his first choice was to be in 76ers uniform to join with Joel Embiid and reunite with Daryl Morey in Philly. It took him a year longer than he would like, but he finally got his way. Now, Kevin Durant, who reportedly was against trading Harden initially, with no choice to sign off on a deal with Sean Marks. So this is what Mark, basically said. Based on the conversation with Brooklyn figures and those close to Durant, it's clear that Harden blockbuster trade for Ben Simmons wouldn't have occurred without Durant's blessings. As more and more Nets personnel face the reality approaching the trading deadline, the Harden wanted out. Durant approval mattered more than anyone on the team. Now, KD, like I said, KD, he's the one that got Steve Nash there, and he's the boss on this team. He created this team. They have to win. So Kevin was like, "F it." James isn't bringing ish. Another figure with knowledge of Brooklyn added, "I don't think that would have happened without Kevin making that decision." So they had issues, and Harden, he's been in the news of faking injuries. Why would you want to play with somebody like that who's a quitter? In the absence of Kyrie Irving, really made a decision um, even easier for Harden because they wouldn't let him play in New York because of the mandate. So they wasn't close. I don't think James Harden wanted to play that style of basketball. See, James Harden, he feel like he got to have the ball in his hands. I don't think he could play in any other system. I don't think he's going to win the championship. He might. I mean, because Philly is good. It's really up in the air. Um, but Harden's going to go through the same thing in Philly because Embiid's going to get hurt too. He is injury prone. He's playing lights out now, but he always get hurt. What do you think is going to happen? What's going to happen when he gets hurt? You going to want to leave then? Back to Kevin Durant. He just don't get along with people, and he's not a good leader. He needs to step up and talk to these players and push them and get them to do stuff that they wouldn't normally do. That's what a leader is about. You're not a manager. A manager basically said, "Do it, or your job is fired." You have to inspire these players. It's interesting, man, because you have to have a leader, even in your family. You ever notice, like, when Big Mama passes away, the family don't. It's not run like it's supposed to. People's trying to steal from grandmom, and um, people don't listen to you. But when Big Mama talk, everybody listens. So Kevin Durant, what he should have done, he should have just stayed in Golden State and just won all those championships. But you couldn't deal with your own failures, like Thanos said. You couldn't deal with it. You you couldn't deal with the fact that you couldn't beat Golden State, so you went and joined them. And now you're trying to create this new legacy, but you're old now, man. You're 34 years old. You stay hurt now. This is a whole new league, man. This is Joe Morant's league, and Ball family. It's their league now. You're old, and if this is the last hurrah, realistically, unless you start playing a role, a certain role, but yeah, you're nice and you can still score. This year you're doing pretty well, but you're still not playing a lot of games. Now it would have been dope if Kyrie, and Harden would have played together, um, but it was a bust. This is by far one of the biggest busts in NBA history. Simple as that. But anyway, that's my take on Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a great player. He's a weak leader, and his self esteem is really low. And man, by far, man, put some lotion on, man. You be so ashy. He don't care about taking care of himself. I mean, he loves the game. Don't get me wrong. He loves the game. But you got to build another part of your profile, if you will. You have to learn how to be a leader of men, and you cannot isolate yourself because you will not win a game. You will not win a championship without the team in the NBA. It's just not going to happen. Like, you need help. You need a team. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that there. Definitely hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell, and I'll check you on the next one.